Okay, that's still running. Alright, let me turn my phone down. Now that's silent. Everything should be good. Let me turn my mic up just a tad so that you can hear me nice and clearly. Yeah. So, been messing with these relief things, and something that I've tried in the past that I wanted to see about doing again is just a scale sort of deal. So a while ago, I did different things at different scales, and I want to try and do that with the relief things. Sorry, talking, thinking. So what you have up top are things where I rub over some cutout paper and I get textures. And I have this. That's the wrong one. I made a series of. Wait, maybe these are just visible. Yeah, a series of these running guys, and I want to just mess with scaling this up and down. And so I'm going to do that by having it be larger, then smaller and smaller. And I shouldn't need to do like any real registration or anything. It'll be nice to have it held in place, but that's the extent of that. And then I think I'm going to try to make some reference marks in the corners of each of these so that I can scale them down or scale them up depending on what it is. So I have all of these already traced out, but I need to, let's see, Illustrator. Have these traced out, and what I want to do now is adjust the size on some of these. So I think the easiest way to do that is, ideally I leave them as this. Let's ungroup anything, ungroup, and then group this together, this together, this together, this together. It's only 16. Group, 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 group. Just so that everything's to scale. When I adjust things size-wise. So I'm gonna copy all of this into a new one of these guys. Let's make it, this direction, 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna make one of these that is 10 by 7 in the mix, just because it makes it easier. And then I can get a little bit smaller than this. But this is just a pretty clean area to work in. Just keep everything in here. I should be able to get away with these not having like super tight boundaries. It's just for my sake. Wait, let me see what this scale changes. Let's see, object. Can I transform this? Yeah, scale. Uniform 200. Uniform 200. Let's even try making it 300. Just make it big guy. And then let's grab this one. What is the shortcut for that? Object transform. Scale. Let's make it 250. Is that going to be? Let's try it at 200. Oh, not 2000. Object transform. Scale. A little large still. Let's put these side by side. And scale it down here. to the back. Object, transform, scale, 180. Object, transform, scale, 150. I should have just moved all these beforehand. Object, transform, scale, 125. Let's just make it small enough to fit in here. And this one can be regular size. Object, transform, scale, 75. Object, transform, object, transform, scale, 60. Object, transform, scale, 50. How small can I get this? What's the math on this? Calculator. 2400 divided by 19. 1.25 inches wide. So how large is there? 1.25. Okay, I actually need to get smaller. Or if I'm getting smaller, I need to change some elements of it. Maybe this needs to be on 2 pages. I might need to do 2 pages of this, probably. I should probably max out at this width as this. Okay. Okay. Let's do a few of them at this size. And then one more. It's just slightly too large. this guy big. Okay, so these should work. Let's get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy. I have enough room for this one? Yeah, I can pull this guy over. This is a weird way to work on it, but it should work fine. You know what, I'm gonna move this guy here. Okay, I need to do some prep work, so ungroup all these guys. And I'm gonna lock this layer, put a new layer, and just mark some stuff. So I got the corners marked up in some way, shape, or form. I think all the corners are, not this one. Corner, 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 corner. All the corners are marked. And I need a registration mark, 6. Let me save this out right now. New folder 2023-04-12- Blender. Or this isn't Blender, this is Cricut Rub Scale.
I give you so
And who's okay, let's save this. This is vector 02. And we should be good if I save this out as an SVG. Cricket 01.svg. File. Save as SVG cricket 02. And we'll see how this exports to Cricket, whether or not it's successful or not. Because Cricket's finicky with weird bits. Oh. See how these behave. Left sounds. Cricket at 1. Let's see if Cricket at 2 has issues. Cricket at 2 is fine. Did I? Yeah, I just didn't get rid of some stuff. Okay. Let's add canvas. And attach this. And let's add this. And these are attached as well. Okay, now let's make it. What's going on? I'm prepping files. So what you see here is a run cycle split at different scales. So this is frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the remaining 5 frames, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And these are silhouettes that are similar to, is it buried here? Yeah, so I'm working towards making something like this, but this one that you see currently on screen, it's all the same scale. And what I'd like to do is have varying scales. So have it be large and then smaller, and see how this medium is affected by that change in scale. But in order to do that, I need to cut these outlines, and so that's what I've been working on in Illustrator currently, is prepping some files for that and a few different things that I needed to include for that. So I did, and now I need to cut these out. So right now I am off screen prepping stuff, cutting it out, and it'll be ready in just like a minute or two. This is also a test of alternative means of defining boundaries or outlines. So I'm cutting out corners, but I'm not cutting them out. I'm just cutting like lines on the corner, and I'm going to see how that transfers to another sheet of paper and whether or not it works or doesn't, if it's visible or not. I've got these reference files that I can use potentially, but it would be nice to not have to. So I have various iterations of different things and such. I don't know what I was going to say there. I had a loose thought, but the actual thing. Typically, I would have had these already cut out, but I was figuring things out, and then I got lunch with a friend, so I was busy. And I was trying to figure out something that would not take way too much time to cut out and prep, and I wanted to see what the scaling would look like on this, so that's what I'm working on. Otherwise, I've been messing around with having a better output of color, multiple colors on different sides, and I was going to prep a file for this, but it doesn't work because these, at least how I've been working, these have to function like a stencil, meaning that you can't have any freestanding elements in the middle. I can close Illustrator. So like here is, or is that it? This is the one that is animating in the background, and I used these guys to do the rubbings. And as you can see, there's no isolated elements, which works fine for the cube, but I was potentially going to use an animation where there are freestanding elements that are fully cut out, and if it's fully cut out, then it won't hold because it's one solid piece of paper. So I need to rethink or do a different animation for that to function. Okay. It'll take a little moment or two to cut out that one. You can't see it right now. Let me turn off this image. But what I have is it's cut out now. And once I pull this up, you'll be able to see these figures. There are the figures left behind and the figures cut out. And it's not super clear, but there are these little markings that denote the edges on all of these, and I do not know how accurate that's going to be for, or how visible it will be for the final thing. So I have the one. I'm going to go ahead and clean off little guys. And another one. Let me get stuff a little bit prepped. I tend to not
I know
talk very clearly when
my
I'm
real life.
in the midst of one thing. I'm trying to communicate another. This particular kind of animation, doing these rubbings, is relatively new. I wanted to make something that was repeatable and fast, but also something that could be done with very little awareness or skill as well. That's fun and revealing and interesting on its own. I'm going to put these things away and I'll be back in just a sec. I don't know 100% how well this will work. It will work, but I don't know how well. This is the right size. Okay, so let me switch out lenses so you can get a wider view of things and see things a little bit more informatively. Okay, so now you got a wider angle. Make sure yes, we can. We got a decent delay on things. Let me quit Illustrator, and I'll be back in just a moment. Save that. Don't save that. Quit Cricut. Actually, let me save this file and hopefully get a better speed going in just a moment. Okay. How are we doing time-wise? Is this better? Yeah, that's better. This guy's on. Let me see how bright this is. Okay. One more thing I'm going to do is just write down the state of things. And this is 0201. Okay, so these are all sort of experimental and figuring things out as I go along. But these are, I did this running animation several months ago, and it's just something that functions well for testing out different methods and processes and such. And so what is right here, actually I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna tape this down so that it stays in place. At least relatively. These are all different techniques and processes, and I'm real into process stuff, how things are made, and things that reveal themselves through elements of what you see in them. Let's scoot this over a little. Let's kick this up just a tiny bit more. Okay, that looks okay. These guys have some longer bits. Anyway, okay, so let's see. How long have I been doing this type of animation, this particular kind of rubbings? Like 2 weeks. How long have I been animating? Over a decade. How long have I been doing frame by frame animation? Similar sort of amount of time. Doing these cutouts is something relatively new for the rubbings. I have done animated cutouts in the past where I'm using just cutouts of paper and then rotating or moving or photographing the animation and playing it back. Here's something of an example of that. This is something called a Praxinoscope. This isn't the best means of viewing it because it works better when you see it in person, but there are all these little frames, and then this is a viewing mechanism that, because of the mirrors that are here, you can sort of visualize, or it'll create the illusion of animation because it quickly shifts between the frames. I made this, I don't know, like a year ago? I really don't know. So stuff like that I've done before, but these rubbings are new. And I have done this exact animation, changing the scale before. And now I want to try it with these rubbings. So I'm going to get my colored pencils out and a piece of paper. And you can't really see super clearly, but there are tacks in each of these corners that match up with the size and scale of the holes that, they just match up with these holes that I cut out. in these corners, which means that I could do this several times, pull everything in, align it, and then save stuff out more consistently. I don't know. I'm still adjusting these a little bit. If I were doing a bunch of these, then I'd probably create some sort of script to help with it, but because I'm figuring it out, I'm just going to do a rubbing of this guy and a rubbing of the other one that I have, and then scan those and see how it works for creating an animation. Two pieces of paper. 1, 2. And let's see which is the that's more texture. So let's come in here. Tack those down and get colored pencil. What color do I want to do? I'm going to do red, and then one that has a mixture of things. But I like red as a color. Okay, those registration marks that I made, not very good, so I'm going to have to pull stuff in differently, or just do it frame by frame. That's probably what it's going to end up being. See a relatively clear visual there, and now it's going to be smaller. And so the fidelity of it will shift a bit. Again, make it a little bit smaller. It's also something that you'll start to see a shift in the texture of the paper when I get to actually scanning everything. Things are less clear as you get down here. This looks better when you see it in person. I need to change what this guy is. See the watermark? This is gonna be annoying, but it's its own thing. It's just gonna be annoying to scan and align and such. I had some hopes for these little corners, but I think in order for it to work, I need a harder edge. But you can like not see these little registration marks at all. Now I gotta scan. Backwards. This is O2. And I gotta scan. Might as well just scan this all at 2400. I think that's the most practical, even if it's annoying. Boom. Scanning will take a while because I'm doing color and high resolution. This is bump this up to 2400, and it'll take a little while to scan this. I don't think that this is the most efficient thing. If I developed something that would like scale all of these elements and then adjust them to the right size using a grid that I set up, that's fine. But as it is right now, I'm gonna have to align these and then just deal with stuff manually, which is its own thing, but that's okay. I wanted to put a weight on my scanner so it gets a little bit flatter. Let me just do a quick recording. waiting on the scanner because I'm doing a high res thing. But in the meantime, I can label this. This is rub scale run cycle. This is how I put all my stuff away. Folders. Then I have a filing cabinet. Is it going at all? Is it just not scanning in any capacity? Let me quit and come back. It didn't show a timing of it, so I was concerned. And I'd rather have some visual confirmation that something's happening. Okay, now it says scanning. Before it didn't say scanning. I think they're hitting cancel and coming back. It did some weird stuff. Sorry for the slow moving stuff. It's just how this is. Slow moving. Waiting. It is what it is. I had to scan at a higher resolution and I have to do it the full height of the thing, so it can take like 5 minutes to scan its own thing. Got any questions? I got sleepy. It's because I was out in the sun for a bit. It's warmer out. Just waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Scanning is slow when it's 2,400 pixels. What? Actually, it's more. 2,400 times 2,400 individual points of reference in every square inch. 24 times 24. Let's see if I can do that in my head. Just do it times 4 and times 20. Times 4 is 96. Times 20 is 480. 576. Thousand? Is that the total number of pixels in a 2400 by 2400? Let me use my calculator, see if I did that right. 2400 square. It's not, it's 5 million pixels. 5,760,000 pixels in a single square inch. Which is why it's taking a little bit of time to scan this. Times 11 times 8.5. That is 538,560,000 pixels. Approximately is what I am scanning currently. Points of reference. That's a lot. I don't know how computers do it. And the fact that I could also make this 4,800 dots per square inch, which makes us 16 times the size if I do that. I don't know. 4,800 square. That's 23 million times 11 times 8.5. 2 billion pixels. What? Once you get into the logistics of like how much information exists, if you're breaking it down into like individual pixels and stuff and values surrounding that, it's absurd. Like how much information you're getting on this video. It's not exactly like a one for one, sort of like here's a pixel, here's a value, here's a pixel, here's a value. There's a different ways that things compress, and I don't understand it, but the video feed is 1920 by 1080. 1920 by 1080. So every frame of this is 2,073,600 pixels every frame. This is playing at approximately 30 frames per second. So every second there's the potential of, or there's total amount of like information of 62,208,000 pixels. That's every second. Now every minute, we multiply that by 60. We get every minute there are 3,732,480,000 pixels for every minute that I'm on this. I'm on this for hours. Scan this next one. It's just a lot of information happening. And being aware of it is excessive. Just playing? It is. I just been still for a minute. Did I... next. Like every month or so I get logged out of things. Okay, stream still going. Okay, I got kicked off for a minute. Don't need calculator going. Is this scanning? I am scanning that. Let's come to Photoshop. Photoshop is open. Come back to OBS and turn on Photoshop. And let's open up the thing that I just scanned that's huge. Desktop. Live designs, rub, scans. It's 130 megabytes as a JPEG image, so it's big. Slowly opening this up. It's faster and slower elements of different things, but it would have taken like just as long to scan this if I had broken this up into separate images. Image rotation and degrees clockwise. I'm going to show you how big this gets. And then I have to load some files into a stack. I could open one that I use because it's the same scale on things. Don't want that. This is going to be acting up as I'm working. This is full scale. Look at those textures. How sort of anonymous it ends up looking. As opposed to like right in here. Scale's much different. Okay. Let me load some files into stack. I think I can do it using the previous run cycle thing. Or this should work. Cancel. Let me just open up this other file that I have. Is this better or worse? Yeah, let me not use that file. Scripts. Load files into stack. Browse. Stills. I don't know what the... Oh, I want the other guy. Oh, I was there. All over the place. Stills. How clear is... Is there a blue inverse? This one might be the easiest. So, first things first, I'm going to align this squared up, which is gonna run kind of slow, probably. Look at the texture of that paper. Gonna transform pretty slowly. This is big. Hopefully I don't run out of disk space. See if it goes. If not, then I'll have to work this a little differently. Here it goes. Come on. Almost there. Merge that down so it'll run a little bit faster. And then got this tool going. Pull this down here. See how these lined up pretty nice. Over here, pretty good as well. Just gonna pull this a tiny bit over. And crop this whole thing. This is much larger than I need it to be. Do more transforming. Oh, I need a wider pull of this. Could have done this better. Do not know if the other one finished scanning. It did. Okay. These are too big to save after the fact. I can probably scale this down a lot. Okay, let's adjust the size. Let's make it 1500. Somewhere in between. Save out these stills. Almost there. Stuff's running slow because there are some big files open. Okay. And I'm going to close out of this. Don't see. OBS and change out this. There you get a shift in the fidelity as it's going around and the scale of texture and such. I don't know how much that'll be compressed or what the frame rate's okay. Turn off Photoshop, see if that boosts things up a little. That's pretty compressed in the video, but is what it is. Works out okay. It's interesting. I'm not sure what application specifically I'd have for this, but it could be still pretty recognizable at a small scale. Perhaps with a thinner, flatter piece of paper, I would end up with less texture and maybe a clearer image, but then it's a trade-off of, do I want to accentuate the texture and such? So, working here and there. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I might work just personally on some other prep stuff for something tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll do. Probably more with this rubbing sort of thing, but maybe a different animation. It'll be a different animation than this, and probably not this format, because there's a lot of downtime in this, and it's not the most engaging to watch the process. But anyway, if you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store at traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the US, you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full after the fact, you can do so by going to the live section of my YouTube channel. If you want to Did I already say if you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Trace Loops, TRACELOOPS. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/traceloops, where you'll find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials, and then at higher tiers, new songs weekdays, and at the highest tier you get a monthly postcard from me with original artwork on the front, little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. I think that's it. Hope that you have a nice afternoon and evening, morning, night, whatever, wherever you are, what time it is. But I'm gonna head out. I felt like I was going to say something else, but I didn't figure out anything more to say, so I'm going to head out. Adios.